Listen, this is what I want you to do in the next 4 weeks. Have a study plan. And this is what you have to understand. You don't need to sit down 3 hours to study. Because there are some people who are like, Nhyira, I'm a busy person. I don't have any time available. And I tell them, listen, you don't need 3 hours to study. You need maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Here a little, there a little, something small. Maybe early in the morning, you wake up, you do something. Maybe during lunchtime, you have some free time, you do something. Maybe in the evening, before you go to sleep, you are not tired, right? You are not that much stressed. You can do something 30 minutes before you sleep. It is here a little, there a little. It is not the number of hours you study. It is the quality of the time that you are studying. And you have to understand this. Listen, you have to pass this exam. And you don't have any excuse. The ICAG examination is not difficult. The ICAG examination is not challenging. The ICAG examination is not a tough exam. You can do it. But it is the excuses that you have. Now, you think other courses are easy? Or you think law is easy? Go to the Ghana Law School. You think engineering is easy? Go study engineering. You think medicine is easy? Go to the medical school. Everything is difficult. But there are people who are able to become successful. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how do they do it? There are people equally busy as you. There are people equally engaged as you. There are people who are even more successful, who have more responsibility than you, but they still want to improve themselves. They still want to advance themselves because they don't give themselves excuses. Your problem is the number of excuses that you keep giving yourself. Your life is full of excuses. Everything you are pointing fingers at other people. Everything you are pointing fingers at other people. You never take responsibility for yourself. And sometimes I sit down and I look at the attitude and how some of my students behave, and I'm like, you're not serious. You are not serious. Because I look at other students, especially my private class students, high-end clients, paid significant amount of money, how busy they are, the things they have to go through, and they still find time to do my assignments. They still find time to solve questions. They still find time to do this. You realize that, okay, it is not about the system. It is not about the exam is difficult. It is that people are just full of excuses. And listen, excuses cannot take you anywhere. Excuses cannot solve any problem. Excuses will make your life more miserable. Excuses will make you write this exam over a decade. And I keep on saying this. We don't want to hear any stories. Oh, by the grace of God, I started this journey 10 years ago. And, over 10 years ago, it's been heartbreak, ups and downs. I wrote the exam 72 times. Oh, by the grace of God, I am now a chartered accountant. We don't want to hear that story. No, we don't want it. We want to hear people who take 1 year, max 2 years, finish, get it done, take your life to the next level, because you waste time. Whose life do you think will be better? Who do you think can have more opportunities in life? Who do you think will have more experiences in life? It is the person who took less time to still achieve the goal. So stop the excuses. We have 4 weeks to go. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want you to continue with the excuses, because nobody cares the things you have to go through every day. When the ICAG examination committee, the examiners sit down and they are setting questions, they don't ask themselves, our students, they are mothers and fathers. Our students, they have a lot of responsibilities. So let's set the question in the manner that mothers with 17 children or fathers who are very busy can still pass the exam. That's not how they set the question. When they are putting together the question that will ultimately become the final question that you will see in the exam, or there are a couple of questions they ask themselves. Number one, are these standard questions? Expected of an examination like the ICAG exam? Number 2, does this meet the international standards for professional qualification examination? That is a question they ask themselves. Is the question standard? Does it meet international standards? Period. We don't. So your excuses doesn't boot anybody. Your excuses, nobody cares. So if you are sitting down and waiting a week to the exam, 2 weeks to the exam, 3 days to the exam, so that you attend some magical intervention classes and think you're going to pass the exam, may I suggest to you, you are setting yourself up for a significant failure in the examination. I tell people this: intervention classes, master classes are for people who have been on the journey, who have been studying, and those periods, you just want to polish them. Those periods, they have some difficulty, some few areas that they have challenges with, and these are the things you want to just fix for them. That is the purpose for intervention. You cannot sit throughout the period, 12 weeks, you've not attended any lecture, you've not studied anything, then magically you think a 3-hour class, a 6-hour class will help you to pass the examination. You are very delusional to think that way. And this is why many people think the ICAG examination is difficult. Because people think they can sit down, not study, not do anything, but they should just attend an intervention class of 3 hours, of 6 hours, and magically they should go to the exam hall and pass the examination. Who do you think you are? What are you smoking? You see, we have to deal with these issues. We need to speak to reality. So intervention class is effective for people who have been working, who have been studying, who have been doing things, so that those periods, they are just going to be pushed, give it a final push, so boom, they can go into the exam or and pass the exam.